What's going on, pipe smokers? I hope you're having a happiest of holidays so far. Mine's been pretty good so far with the family. Housekeeping. I am smoking out of my Paul's Cayuga Bulldog, and I'm smoking on some. The label's seen some better days, but some figgy pudding from the Country Squire. Um, I'd say it's probably about 2 years old at this point, 2 to 3 maybe, and there is slight flavor left to it. You do get some of that mintiness, but like peppermint mocha kind of mintiness, but it's very, very, very muted, um, which is expected. It's an aromatic, 2 to 3 years old. It may be 3 years old. I've had it 3 years now. So of course, the flavor's not really going to be there, but it's there enough. This is a blend that's definitely, I think, within the first year. So like your first two Christmases that you have it, you want to try to get it all smoked up by then, or else it's just not going to be worth it. Just drink it on some Walmart roast coffee with some International Delight peppermint mocha in it. So it's kind of helping with the peppermint mocha ease of the tobacco. You may see the coffee cup is from A Christmas Story, the light lamp with the fragile box. We actually, um, Black Friday, instead of shopping like most people do, we loaded the kids up and took a trip to Cleveland, Ohio. Some of you may ask, why Cleveland? Why were you going to Ohio of all places? And I can tell you why. For those that don't know, Christmas Story house, the house they did some of the filming, a few scenes here and there. A lot of it was shot in Toronto on a sound stage, but the majority of it was Toronto. Yeah, minority of it, the exteriors and some interiors of the downstairs was filmed at a house in Cleveland, Ohio, and back in the early thousands, it went up for sale on eBay, and a huge fan, and I believe a guy that actually restarted making leg lamps, bought the house, restored it to as much as he could from what it looks like in the movie. And I want to say, what was it, like '06, '06, '07, '08, around that. He reopened it as a museum to the public. So they have the house all done on looking just like from the movie. Across the street is a museum and a gift shop. So when you go in the house, there's nothing original that was in the movie in the house. Everything in the house is a replica, but it's downstairs and the second floor is set up as best it can to resemble the movie. And I'm gonna try to post some pictures up in one of these corners somewhere, of what you could see. And then, so it was bitter and cold. Holiday season. It was pretty busy. I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty packed. We had gotten there like 10 minutes after it opened. And there was already a line out the door for the house. There was a line out the door for the museum. So we started with the house, went in, and it is almost like walking into the movie. The way they have it all set up, like there's a couple rooms missing. Well, one downstairs missing. That's the dining room. That was not actually part of the house. That was part of the soundstage. But the living room set up, the foyer set up. They got the stairwell. Man, it's not wanting to stay lit. Just because I keep rambling. But they tried to when they did the soundstage, they did a good job at copying how the house looked like. So had the leg lamp, had two leg lamps in the house actually. They had the one when you first walked in, sitting in the crate. They had one in the window you could take pictures with. They had the Red Ryder BB gun. They had the turkey in the kitchen. It's definitely different. And then so we went over once we got done with that. Went upstairs. Upstairs isn't exactly set up because they do have a third story that is an apartment that you could stay in. There's an apartment you could stay in, which for Christmas Eve and Christmas night is like 2,500 to 3 grand to stay the night there. During the season, you're looking at paying anywhere from like 1,200 to 2 grand for any other night. Off season, so like summertime, you're looking at 3 to 400 a night. So it is a little pricey to stay there. So we went upstairs to the second floor. They have Ralphie's room set up. They have the bathroom set up, and they have a like a sewing room for the mom. There's no parents' bedroom there. So I would have liked the scene, but the way a house is set up, they weren't able to fit the size of that, so they went with a mom's sewing room. We got the backyard, and then we went over to the museum, which was cool to see because that's where they have props from the movie. They have pictures from filming, um, paintings that people make and send in. They hang all over the place. Like I said, I'm gonna try to get some of this up so you can see it. And they were really trying to keep they were trying to keep track of how many people they had in there. They didn't want it to be too crowded because these are just houses converted. I mean, it's not like an actual big layout. It's a house just converted to a museum. But even still, with the amount of people they were trying to keep it to, it was this time of year it's so busy. It was hard to really get in and get a good look around because either people would park themselves in front of something and didn't want to move, or you were trying to people were trying to push you out of the way so they could get in there. But it was pretty cool to see because they have a lot of their outfits. They had one of the actual Red Ryder BB guns set up in a special case you could see. They have like a history of um, what are they called, Dakota pins, and I was able to get a video going down the line. So I'll see if I can get that up here too. There's just like a video like from throughout the years of Dakota pins, and then the last stream was just like a village. So they make a bunch of village buildings and stuff that you can buy for it. and it was pretty cool to see. So we got through there, and then we went to the museum. Not the museum. I just said that. Bleh. We went to the gift shop. Well, before the gift shop, they have a replica of the fire truck set up there. It's not the actual one from the movie. If you want to go to the actual one from the movie, you go up to, I believe it's St. Catharines, Ontario, and there is a small museum set up in the one firehouse up there. And the truck is there. It says Chippewa Falls on it. If you look at the movie, it's going to say Chippewa Falls. That is up in St. Catharines, Ontario, which is the same city that they filmed the school. So the school is actually filmed up in Ontario, Canada, also. And that is now a woman's shelter. That's been converted to a woman's shelter. There's a there's a good documentary from a few years ago. When I say a few years ago, I mean probably about 20 years ago now, called Road Trip for Ralphie. Well, I think it's a Christmas story, a road trip for Ralphie, and it's about this couple that the whole movie is them going to filming locations. So they found the school. They went to the school. They actually helped because when they found it is when they were right about they were starting the remod to go from the school to the woman's shelter. So they were able to help out demolishing it. I mean, when I say demolish it, they didn't like tear it down. It's still there. They remodded it. So they helped with the tear down. And they were actually able to save the chalkboard from the classroom, which they have in the museum down at the Christmas Story house. So they saved that. They saved the door to the classroom. It was also at the museum at the house. They were the ones that found the outfits. So the costumes, the outfits, whatever you want to call them, they were in storage at a facility in Toronto that specialized because Toronto's a big filming city that specializes in costumes. They were just sitting in there, well, hanging in there, and that they found that they didn't take it to the house, but the guy that owned the house went up and bought them from the company. They did their hardest, and they finally found the Chinese restaurant. So that little side tangent. Anyways, they had a replica of the fire truck. They also have a replica of the Oldsmobile as well, the young man's Oldsmobile. So that's in between the museum and the gift shop. I don't know why I'm having so like maybe I need to crack a window a little bit. Get too smoky in here. But in that scene with the flat tire and all that, that was filmed in Toronto also. So there's quite a mix of like quite a bit. The alleyway with Scott Farkas and Grover Dill, Toronto. So very little was actually shot in Cleveland. So the house, the exteriors, a little bit of interior, Cleveland. Higbee's, Cleveland. That's actually now a casino called Jack's Casino. That was an actual Higbee's at the time. Um, the beginning of the movie where they come in and look in the window, when you got the city and the people singing, that's Cleveland. So there's, was these two cities mixed together very much. Well, I should say three, because St. Catharines is like about an hour outside of Toronto, so it's not really Toronto proper. And then we made our way to the gift shop, which I didn't get any filming of. We took our time looking around and everything. Where I bought my new coffee mug. My wife bought a. They have decoder pins there. She bought one of those. They actually spin and everything like that. So that was pretty cool. Um, all kinds of stuff. And they didn't just have Christmas story stuff in the house or in the gift shop, not the house, but in the gift shop. So in the gift shop they have it's mostly a Christmas store. So you have your leg lamps, you have your Red Ryder BB guns, you have coffee mugs, you have T-shirts, you have blankets, you magnets, uh, toys. I mean, pretty much everything. They have monetized whatever they can, games off of the movie. But then they do have a small corner where you have Christmas Vacation, Night Before Christmas, Elf, a little bit of Mickey Mouse. I'm trying to think of what else may have been there. I think for the majority that may have been all the other Christmas stuff they had. And when I say big, man, this was a pretty hefty size um gift shop. It was you could probably put two of the museums of like the not the house but the museum. You could probably put two of them in there. It was a good size, and I mean it was packed. The gift shop was packed. The museum was packed. The house was packed. Everything was packed. My kids were a little disappointed because the house wasn't exactly like it was in the movie, which it does suck. I think they could have done a better job if they didn't have the the apartment upstairs that you could stay in. I think they could have done a lot more to make it look just like the movie, at least on the second floor. But it is what it is. Because like if you watch the movie, Ralphie's room would have been on the opposite side of the house where they have it in that house. When he looks out the window, he's looking at the backyard. At the actual house, it's on the front of the house. When you look out, you're looking at the street, which wasn't how it was in the movie. But beggars can't be choosers. But overall, it was a good trip. We were hoping to stop at Erie has one of those spirit Christmases that they're doing this year. We were hoping to stop there. Unfortunately, it was the weekend that Erie started getting hit with the snow, with the lake effect snow, and there was no way we were going to make it out there. And they ended up shutting that down anyways. So even if we went out that way, we couldn't have stopped at Spirit Christmas. And it was a shame for what happened to those guys. They got hammered, and they continue to get hammered. And I believe the snow is done now. So in fact, at the time we recorded this, I'm almost a week exactly from when we were at the Christmas store house. I've been trying all week to get this video done. I haven't had a chance to. I'm finally doing it now. So I just realized how long I've been rambling on for. So I believe I'm going to close this one out, boys and girls. Thank you for watching. Until next time, happy smokes and have a happy holiday.